and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy and today I am casing from the MINI Catalogue. I'm so happy to have you here today. I have a really wonderful card for you. You can find it on page 53. It's using the Mountain Air bundle. Let me bring in the catalogue and show you. We're going to be casing this one here. Isn't it gorgeous? These colours are just amazing. Here's the card that we are creating. Let's get over to the craft table and we'll get started. The supplies needed for today's card are the Mountain Air bundle, and I've actually purchased this one from the MINI Catalogue just recently. I'm hoping to use it on some scrapbooking pages when I visit Utah at the end of the year. Fingers crossed. I'm also using another stamp set from the MINI Catalogue called Seriously the Best. I'm using it for the sentiment, You're the Best. Inks, we have Memento Tuxedo black ink, Versamark ink. I'm also using the Embossing Buddy white embossing powder and the heat tool. We are embossing the sentiment. The other inks we're using are Mango Melody, Rich Razzleberry and Melon Mumbo. And we have the Leaves Trinkets. These are really great. I'm using the Triple Leaf Trinket. I'm going to bring my card kit in and everything is ready to go. You can find all the measurements and supplies over my blog. There is a link to that blog post in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store if you would like to purchase any Stampin' Up products through me. You can through my online store. Pop in the hostess code for this month and I'll send you some wonderful goodies. Firstly, I'll send you a handmade card or project. I also send you a PDF tutorial, which are printable full color, which is a lot of inspiration in itself, and you'll also earn yourself Inky rewards for every $50 that you spend through me. So we have the kit here all ready to go, all the measurements and supplies. Don't forget, head over to my blog for that. We have a smoky slate card base and I've already pre-scored that. I'm just going to fold and burnish with a bone folder. We also have shimmery white cardstock. That's what we're going to do our watercolor wash with. This works really well as Fluid 100 watercolor paper works just as well. We have basic black for our trees. We have basic grey for our mountains. Whisper white for our two other mountains, and then I've got a piece of basic black. This is huge for our sentiment. Let's start by stamping all our mountains, and I'm going to start with the detailed mountain. Now if you don't know, this Mountain Air stamp set is actually a reversible stamp set, so one side will be a detailed image and then when you turn the stamp over it's a more solid image. So really great way of getting double out of your stamp set. I'm going to ink this one up with Memento Tuxedo black ink because we want this one to be nice and detailed. Look at that detail. That's amazing. I'm going to clean this off, get that memento off, because we're going to come back in and stamp in the Melon Mumbo and Rich Razzleberry, but we're going to turn the stamp over. So we've just done the detailed stamp, now we're going to do the solid. And we're actually going to stamp off on both of these images. So I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper as well. Stamping off once. And then I'm going to stamp the second generation down. And bringing the Rich Razzleberry in. Oh, that's nice and dark, isn't it? Let's stamp that one off. And I'm going to stamp this one down. So we have two of our or 3 of our mountains ready to go. Going to work with the watercolor wash next. So we need that shimmery white cardstock, and we're using an aqua painter for this one, so this one here. And I'm just going to press my Mango Melody pad together so I have a little bit in the lid. And I think this is clean. Yep. So I'm going to bring some water to my drum of my aqua painter, and I just want to put a little bit of water down on my cardstock first, and then I want to come in with the colour to create that wash. Now it will actually lose a little bit of colour once it dries. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. I think that might be right. I'm going to bring the heat tool in and just heat that up just to make sure I've got exactly the look I'm after. I'm actually really happy with how that's turned out. It's nice and dry. I'm going to bring the big shot in and we're going to do our die cutting. Now with this detailed image of those trees, let me bring it in and show you, with this one here, because it's so detailed, I like to use my precision plate. Stampin' Up no longer carry these, but I believe they are still available on the market out there, and I highly recommend, if you don't have one, to purchase one, because they really do make it easy with the more intricate dies. So I have 2 trees there that we're going to use, and we're also going to use that mountain die. But with the precision plate, I'm only going to be using the precision plate for these 2 trees. I don't need it for the mountains. It's not an intricate design. Okay, so let's pop this one through. It's done a really good job. Just going to have to be really careful pulling it out because you can rip parts off it. I'm going to just create my normal platform and run all these mountain dies through. Okay, so I got all those little pieces out. The next thing I want to work on is our sentiment, and I have that strip here ready to go. And this actually just come out of my scraps bag. I'm going to run the embossing buddy over. So I've got the Versamark ink. Now this sentiment, I'm not using the full stamp. So the stamp says you're seriously the best, and we're only using the you're the best. So I'm going to use some post-it notes just to mask off some of the sentiment. So first off, I'm going to just mask off everything except for the you're. And I'm going to ink up the Versamark. And then stamp that down. Just remember, you've got to take the post-it note off. So I'm going to bring the white embossing powder in. And I found it's easier to do one part at a time. If I'm trying to line something up and I'm only looking at Versamark, it's just really hard. There's a little bit there, so I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm going to bring the heat tool in and just quickly melt that powder. Because I have sort of put my hands everywhere again, I'm going to bring the embossing buddy back in. Just run it over the left of it, the leftover bits. And now I'm going to clean this off. Getting rid of all that wetness. And we can mask off everything except for the best. Lining that up. Didn't do the very best at that, but that's okay. Can still see it. So we're just going to melt that powder. You can see the residue from the embossing buddy on that black cardstock. I'm just going to run my hand over it, and that just takes all that embossing buddy off. I'm going to cut this down now too. We're right to start popping this card all together. I'm just going to work with that shimmery white cardstock first. And I'm going to layer the Melon Mambo inked image down first, and let's bring some liquid glue in, and it's going to hang over the side, and I'm happy with that because what we're going to do is we'll cut that off eventually. So there's our pink mountain. Let's bring our purple mountain in now, and we're going to do the same thing. So let's just glue this one down. And I've stamped them so they're not the same as each mountain. This is the best mountain just here. Let's glue this one down. I'm just going to turn this over and cut these edges off. These trees, because they're so delicate and small, I'm going to bring the silicone mat in with my sponge. And I've been showing this technique a lot. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue down. Bringing one of those trees in. Let's just dab behind that tree. We can attach him down. Let's do the other one. Now that I have my trees in place, I want to come back in with the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to do the little stamping of these little lots of birds. The reason I didn't do it before is I just wanted to make sure I got the nice placing of my birds. There we go. And you could do more if you wanted to do more than just the one lot. Let's bring in some of the mini dimensionals for the back of our sentiment. And I'm actually going to use some of our bones of the dimensional. And before we put that down, let's bring that leaf in. And the best way to secure ribbon or trinkets down are with glue dots. So let's just bring in, I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on the back of this trinket. I think I'm going to pop that down there. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to peel back some of that bones there. I'm going to stick a glue dot on the end of this one, and hopefully that'll attach to that trinket. I'll take this one off. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. I'm going to use the tear and tape because we've added the water. You want to make sure that you use a nice strong adhesive. Tear and tape works perfectly for watercolouring or water washing. Easy to put on as well, and it's not going to bubble, it's not going to go anywhere either. I'm going to stick that down on a smoky slate card base. And that's today's case card. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's case card. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you left me a comment. If you haven't hit subscribe, please do that as well. I'm hoping for a goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you could help me out, I would really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this card. This is a really great bundle to purchase. I can see a lot more things happening with this bundle, and yeah, I'll be back with some more tutorials really soon. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.